Hey guys, welcome back. Things are getting spicy on the Twatter. I swear to God, this has been like the weirdest weekend to watch. Even though Twitter has not been kind to me lately, that's a whole other topic. Apparently, the ADL has been trending on Twitter. Now, for anybody who's not aware, the ADL is the Anti-Defamation League, which, despite its name, really doesn't do much more than defame people who have done nothing wrong. So, the situation here is we have this guy, Jonathan Greenblatt, who is the current CEO, I do believe, of the ADL, a group that exists to do nothing more than spread censorship and accusing people of, hatred and bigotry without a single shred of evidence to back their claims up. So what we have here is on a bunch of interactions on Twitter between Jonathan Greenblatt and people they were interviewing him.
So we at the ADL, and me personally, deeply agree. You can't outlaw bad ideas. You can't outlaw hate.
This is him in 2016 saying things like, you can't outlaw bad ideas, you can't outlaw hate, which is exactly contrary to what the ADL is doing now. If you see the ADL now, they basically want to be the long arm of the law when it comes to how they censor people on social media.
Technology in society works actively with all the kind of companies of Silicon Valley, from Apple to Zoom, if you will, from Amazon to Microsoft to Meta, and indeed.
Again, this is him here basically explaining how the ADL works with all these social media companies to decide what is and is not harmful and censor hateful speech and anti-Semitism as they claim. Here you have the ADL going after Substack back in April, a website that exists to give people who are journalists and bloggers kind of a nice revenue stream by having people support them for their literary works. The person that he's talking about here in this tweet is Calvin Robinson, a regular guest of on the Lotus Eaters podcast. He's a really cool guy, very, very smart man to listen to. But they went after him on Substack. Tucker Carlson, another target of theirs. They absolutely detest Tucker Carlson, claim that he is an anti-Semite. They've basically defamed him. They've slandered Tucker more than once. And of course, Jonathan Greenblatt here, the CEO of the ADL, praising Fox News for getting rid of Tucker, saying it was far too long. Then you've got, of course, things that the ADL has decided are hate speech, things like the OK hand symbol. You know how in Call of Duty they said that was anti-Semitic or racist or whatever to say OK? Things like it's okay to be white, white lives matter. Ironically, the Antifa image here is a hate symbol, which is surprising, unless they're saying if you have this symbol where you're crossing out the Antifa flag, that's a hate symbol somehow. Make it make sense, people. Then you've got guys like this rabbi here actually speaking out.
I am suspicious when a guy makes a living from a particular situation. So if there's a particular film crew that make a living from blood, I'm suspicious every time they show blood. If a guy is created only because of anti-Semitism, I'm nervous about his reports.
Again, this is very, very not political, not biased opinion to have here. If somebody profits off of fear and destruction, you're going to question, what do they do when the fear and destruction ends?
Are they accurate? He has to create a problem because he needs a job.
So you're saying, the ADL is not like a credible organization, or?
I really can't pass judgment on other organizations, so we'll leave it that way. I'll be political.
Of course, he doesn't want to answer that question directly, but you know what he's thinking. I mean, the ADL has gone after people like Chaya Raichik, the creator of Libs of TikTok, saying that she is anti-Semitic or anti-LGBTQ, and basically that she is a bigot. You don't have to be somebody who's like a Caucasian, American, ethno-European right-winger for them to call you anti-Semitic or a bigot. They'll go after Jewish people as well. They'll go after anybody who disagrees with them. So here you have Libs of TikTok responding to Elon, asking if they can release, or if Elon can release all the information that they have on the ADL and all the other organizations who have pushed to censor certain accounts on Twitter, because she is being targeted by the ADL. So now what we have here is Elon going after the ADL, claiming that the Anti-Defamation League has created poor ad sales on Twitter, on X, saying that basically that their ad revenue has plummeted by 60% since the ADL has started this campaign to go after the advertisers on Twitter. Now, again, I don't know if this is legitimate. I don't know if he has another. Someone hypothesized that maybe he's just trying to blame the ADL because Twitter's ad revenue is not doing so well. I don't know, to be honest, if that's just his way of finding a scapegoat for Twitter not doing so well. But you have different websites like the Daily Beast saying he has a history of engaging with anti-Semitic accounts. Of course, you've got the Times of Israel here saying that Elon Musk amplifies call by anti-Semites to ban the ADL from X. But here's the thing. When you have bad actors, people acting in bad faith, it makes it really hard to take any of them seriously. And so we had this Twitter space hosted by Mario Nafal, who I cannot stand, but we're just going to bear with me for a minute here. They were discussing, this guy Keith Woods and the people on this panel here, this whole thing with the ADL, with Twitter and the censorship. And this person, I don't think you can see them speaking on the Twitter space here, named Vivian Berkovici, I guess her name is. She comes into this Twitter space, and here's what she has to say.
I say this. I've been accused of all kinds of horrible things personally because I'm Jewish. And a number of listeners here, and maybe they'll have the courage and integrity to speak up, have already messaged me on Twitter saying, oh, well, we know which side you're on, don't we? A dual citizen, ergo dual Canadian-Israeli citizen, therefore she can't be trusted.
Now keep that in mind, dual Canadian-Israeli citizens. Stick with us here for a second.
And
I get this.
People who wrote those messages, any of the people who wrote those messages have the integrity to speak up now and tell me.
Well, Vivian,
So now Keith Woods, the person who posted this tweet, comes in here.
I have a question. If we're talking about conflicts of interest, is it true you work for an Israeli intelligence firm called Black Cube?
No, who are you? No.
She comes back with, no, who are you? So basically, here you have it. He says, this is the woman who was in the space claiming not to know what the ADL was while defending them, working for Israeli intelligence agencies, and was followed by Jonathan Greenblatt on Twitter. She immediately left the space and deactivated her account after I asked her about this bizarre. So yeah, basically, former Canadian ambassador to Israel, worked for Black Cube, an Israeli intelligence firm. That would be this person right here, this Vivian Berkovici. And as you can see, here is her Twitter account, followed by Jonathan Greenblatt, claims to not know about the ADL or what this person's talking about. So these are the kind of people that we have involved with the ADL. I'm not making any claims. I'm just commenting on this. I'm reporting on this because it's interesting that finally the ADL, after their very, very long history of basically going after people and trying to censor and defame people unjustifiably, are now finally getting their feet held to the fire a little bit, and I find it hilarious. So yeah, just guys, let me know what you think down below. Share your thoughts. If you've been paying attention to any of this, give me your insights into it, because I don't know everything that's going on. I've just been kind of seeing what I can on Twitter. But yeah, we will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.